8 things Soulja Boy did first. If there's one rapper out there that truly understands how to use the internet to their advantage, it's Soulja Boy. The guy started his career off by being one of the first rappers to actually go viral. And he has managed to continually find ways to blow up on the internet since then. Whenever it seems like Soulja's time in the spotlight is gone, he returns with some brand new meme to stay relevant. For example, Soulja was all over social media 2 years ago when he started claiming that he had the best comeback of 2019. He actually spoke it into existence. The 2019 comeback didn't last long, but he's now making a new comeback by showing that he is the first rapper to do, pretty much everything. There are definitely some things that Soulja Boy did first. And then there are some first things that he claimed that are, not exactly true. For instance, we all know that no matter what he says, he wasn't actually the first rapper to have a pool table in his house. Either way, he's gotten some great publicity off of it, so you gotta respect his ability to market himself. Before I jump into this video though, make sure to click the like button and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Now here are 8 things that Soulja Boy actually did first. Number 8, the first rapper with a Lamborghini phone. There are lots of rappers out there with Lamborghinis. There are also lots of rappers out there with phones. But can you name a single rapper with a Lamborghini phone? That's what I thought. Soulja took to Twitter recently to show off one of his rarest possessions. An old school smartphone literally made by Lamborghini. I honestly have no idea if Soulja is actually the first rapper to have a Lambo phone, but it's honestly not too hard to believe. The phone was released back in 2015 by the supercar company, and they made less than 2,000 units. While plenty of rappers could have afforded it at that time, it retailed for about $6,000. The sheer exclusivity of it makes it likely that Soulja was really the first rapper to own one. He also might be the only rapper to own one. As for the actual phone, it's pretty cool if you're a die-hard Lambo fan. It runs a regular Android operating system and it's covered in leather and gold. Yeah, real gold. It's very outdated at this point, but it's still a nice collectible. I wouldn't be surprised if more rappers pick these up now that Soulja Boy has shown the way. Number 7, the first rapper to own a Subway. Rappers being entrepreneurs is nothing new. Expanding outwards from music business into business ownership is one of the main ways that hip-hop artists have been able to turn their fame into legitimate power and wealth. Jay-Z went from being a millionaire to a billionaire off of his savvy business decisions. Kanye did the same by going into fashion. And then there are all the rappers out there that entered the business world by buying a franchise with an established brand. Rick Ross is famous for owning several Wingstop locations, and Soulja did something similar. He bought a Subway location back in 2018, making him the first rapper to own a stake in the famous sandwich chain. Whether you love or hate his music, you got to admire Soulja's business ambition. A lot of other rappers that had a few big hits back in the day would have already gone broke. He has continued to invest his money in smart ways, and that's a cool thing to see. A Subway location may not be as impressive as a big chain, but it is definitely a smarter way to spend your money. Number 6, the first rapper to make a song about Bitcoin. Soulja has always been on the cutting edge of technology. He was cleverly marketing his music on LimeWire way back in the day, and he was an early adopter of YouTube as a way of going viral. The same can be said for his love of crypto. While other celebrities are just now getting on the cryptocurrency wave, Soulja has been on it for at least a few years. He even released a song called Bitcoin in 2018 about his love for the currency. Flash forward to 2021 and Soulja wants everyone to know that he was an early adopter.
I started Bitcoin, nigga.
He tweeted out on May 27th simply saying, quote, "I was the first rapper to make a song about Bitcoin." Unquote. Unfortunately, someone on Twitter immediately responded with a shockingly well-made spreadsheet showing that Soulja was actually the 40th rapper to make a song about Bitcoin. The earliest track on the chart was from 2012, 6 years before Soulja's song. In Soulja's defense though, he was definitely the first well-known rapper to make a song on the subject. In that sense, he was still ahead of the curve. But his claim for being the first rapper to make a song about Bitcoin appears to be false. Hey, it wouldn't be the first time that Soulja Boy stretched the truth a bit. I really can't blame him though, it's provocative. Number 5, the first rapper at Icebox. It looks like Soulja Boy and Icebox, a jewelry store known for outfitting rappers in crazy chains, go way back. Icebox has gained a lot of popularity in recent years thanks to their YouTube channel that showcases rappers picking out crazy pieces. It's become a major trend for rappers to spend thousands of dollars at Icebox, and naturally Soulja Boy just had to prove that he was there before it was popular. On May 15th, Soulja took to Twitter to say, you guessed it, quote, "I was the first rapper at Icebox." A pretty bold claim. Was it true? Well, it depends on who you ask. Icebox actually disputed the claim and said that there were plenty of other rappers to shop at the store before Soulja. They did not concede, however, that he was the first popular rapper to show up there. Icebox went on and said that even if Soulja was the first rapper there, he never even paid for the jewelry he bought. They said that he had a tab of about $60,000 that he owed, and it turned into $200,000 thanks to interest over the years. Oh man. That's pretty embarrassing. Soulja Boy has since said that everything is now squared away with Icebox, but he probably should have never brought it up in the first place. Number 4, the first rapper to produce and write a #1 song at 16 years old. Of all the claims that Soulja Boy has made on Twitter, this one might just be the most impressive. He tweeted out, quote, "I was the first rapper to produce and write a #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 at 16 years old. I still don't think it's been done again till this day." He's obviously referring to Crank That, his debut single released back in 2017. Let's look at this claim and see how credible it really is. Soulja was really 16 when Crank That was released, and it did indeed peak at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. He is also listed as the sole songwriter and producer of the track. That all checks out, but was he actually the first? And has no one managed to do the same since then? As far as I can tell, this is one of Soulja Boy's braggadocious statements that is actually true. And honestly, it is pretty crazy that he was able to accomplish that feat by himself when he was only 16 years old. If you're going to give him credit for anything, it should be for that. The quality of the song is another matter, but hey, that's subjective. Number 3, the first rapper on YouTube. It's well established at this point that Crank That was one of the first rap videos to actually go viral. Soulja took advantage of the internet to popularize the dance that went along with the song, and it ballooned into a legitimate pop culture phenomenon from there. And no matter how you look at it, Crank That was definitely one of the first, if not the first, hit rap videos on YouTube. Once again, it was on Twitter where Soulja decided to stake his claim as the first ever rapper on YouTube. He accompanied his declaration with a paragraph from an article published in 2016. The quote showed that Soulja put his first video on the platform only 3 months after it went live, lending a ton of credibility to the tweet. Whether he was the literal first rapper on the platform or not really doesn't matter. The point here is that he understood that YouTube was going to be the way to market your music before the music industry caught on. The fact that he was such a trailblazer just points to his understanding of how to use the internet to his advantage. And he's still showing off that skill to this day. Number 2, the first rapper with his own video game console. With all the crazy stuff Soulja Boy has been bringing up on Twitter recently, people have really forgotten about all the classic Soulja moments from the past. His famous Breakfast Club interview, the various beefs he's been involved in, the time he said that Nas killed hip-hop. Oh, and before we all move on to the next Soulja Boy meme, remember when he created his own video game console? In case you actually did forget, here's a little history. Back in 2018, Soulja Boy came out of nowhere and announced that he would be creating his own video game console. Actually, make that 2. There was the $100 Soulja game handheld and the $150 Soulja game console. In a way, it kind of makes sense as Soulja has always been a passionate gamer. It was only a matter of time until he entered the video game industry. Unfortunately for Soulja, people weren't too jazzed about the consoles. In fact, they quickly discovered that they were just rebranded versions of other off-brand consoles that you could get for much cheaper. The prospects of the console succeeding were squashed when it was hit with copyright claims because the consoles were running illegal emulated versions of other games. Ouch. Number 1, the first rapper in space. Maybe. For the most part, it seems like Soulja Boy's peak as an artist has already passed. He's been unable to make a hit as popular as his debut single, and he's spent the last decade without making much of an impact on the charts. Most of his claims of being the first all have to do with things he did in the past, and none of them have anything to do with what he's doing now. But that all might be set to change if Soulja gets in contact with none other than Elon Musk. On May 29th, Soulja Boy tweeted at SpaceX CEO, quote, Make me the first rapper in space. On the surface, it seems pretty ludicrous. Why would Elon have any interest in sending Soulja into space? If you think a bit more, however, it almost starts to make sense. Soulja has, for better or for worse, always been ahead of the curve, and him being the first rapper in space isn't the most surprising thing I've ever heard. And we all know that Elon is a huge fan of memes, even going out of his way to make business decisions simply as a joke. Is he going to send Soulja Boy beyond our Earth's atmosphere? Probably not. But crazier things have happened. We'll have to wait and see if Soulja ends up being the first rapper in space or not. So how influential do you think Soulja Boy really is? Is he the first rapper to do everything? Let me know in the comments. And before you leave, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to this channel.